feeling that I'm doing something wrong and that I'm doing something wrong. That's not the way I'm supposed to feel, or that's not what I'm supposed to do. And accepting that it's not going to be perfect.
Hola, Galeras. Painter's Breakfast. How's it going? I'm Just Blake, for those who don't know me. I'm amazed you found me if you don't know me, to be completely honest. But, yeah. I got a lovely little breakfast going on. Hey, Nancy. How's it going? So, I got a cool breakfast going on today. I got vegan chicken wings, some pancakes with papaya jelly. So, should be a pretty cool, good eats. I'm setting up right now so that I can record for the YouTube. So this will take me like half a sec. So what'd you have for breakfast today? Did you anything cool? Did you find something exciting to partake in? No? Just leave? Alright. That's cool too. Let's see. Who can I invite to this crazy, crazy show of mine? Let's see. Alright, got some invites going. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, I got my webcam. I have like a camera that I can set up to just record this. But I want to kind of try some new ideas out. I'm going to plug my mic in now, because that's not going to make any sense. It's going to be like this mute show where I got nothing recorded, basically. No auditory recording. Got my Love Buzz coffee from Equal Exchange with my famous artiste women. Put that right. I can figure out where this goes. Alright, got that going there. So, yeah, I'm just having a day. I was gonna do this crazy waffle pancake burger, but that just seems nuts. The more time that goes by, hey, what's up, man? Hey, buddy, yo. So yeah, for those who don't know, who are new to the show, I just basically eat food and we talk massive amounts of shit. That's how this works. No, we just kind of talk about whatever. Like, this is kind of how it goes. There's no real topic. There's a lot of art stuff going on. A lot of cool vibes. Hey. There we go. I can record stuff now on my actual show. On the YouTube thing. Let me tilt this down a little. I know people always complain. They're like, I can't see what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, you probably won't be able to. It's just kind of how it goes down. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we gotta do another intro. Give me a moment. Welcome to Painter Files presents Painter's Breakfast. Hey, how's it going? I'm eating food today. That's what I do. I was looking at this article, right? Like on Saturday, on the route. And it was hilarious because it was basically just NASA cooking Elon Musk about his like dumb plan to try and get people to go to Mars in about 30 years. But you gotta pay like $100,000 to get there. And they're basically just guaranteeing like you're gonna die. You might die before you get there. You might die before. Once you get there, just everything. You want to talk about AEW, WWE injuries? Okay, we can talk about that. That I don't even understand, man. Like I remember like just how easy it was for people to just get hurt. Like, cause it's an athletic sport. I don't think people realize. Like, yes, by all means, it's choreographed and etc. But like everybody just gets beat up and everything. Like, it's really bad. Like, it's so easy to just like break an arm or pull out a shoulder blade or whatever. It makes me think of like people don't think like when you do murals, it's as physical as it is, but like I've hurt myself so much doing murals throughout the years. It's so easy to like pull stuff or just fall off of like a 15, 20-foot ladder. Just injuries and everything. Like, yeah, I saw Cody's chest. Cody's chest was horrible. He tore a pectoral muscle. So he's just black and blue and black and blue. I think it's weird that he was allowed to keep working. Like, that's one of those things where, like, you could have permanent damage from that. So I don't understand it. I think of how many murals throughout the years, like, I've walked away from because I was just injured. Like, my neck was hurt, or my shoulders were hurt, or my back was hurt, or, my elbow was popped out, or whatever. And it's just weird. It's so weird to see, like, some of these guys who are just, like, these young guys just, like, throwing their bodies away. Because you're not going to recover from that. Like, it's just horrible. And they get massive amounts of surgeries and everything. And I think people who've never had to have a surgery before have this concept that, like, you get a surgery and then, like, you're perfect. Everything's good again, and etc. And it's like, but in actuality, like, you're never really quite the same. It's such, like, a weird kind of abstract injury. So I'm always confused how these guys, like, just keep going with it. Like, it's insane. So the food, once again, pancakes with pomegranate, sorry, not pomegranate, papaya jelly, and then we got vegan wings from the local spot, eLife. Very good. Phenomenal food. I'd suggest everybody check it out. They're on the DC side of Tacoma Park. So if you take the Tacoma Park metro stop, you just kind of go, you come out, you go right. And they're like right there. It's really cool. It's a nice little spot, honestly. There's no graceful way to do this. I gave up a while ago. Some people are going to hear me chew. Some people are going to just, be like, I don't like ASMR stuff. And it's like, well, it's not intentional ASMR. I just chew loud as hell. I don't die. I think the interesting thing about a lot of this stuff is there's so much art stuff that's been kind of made famous, like tattooing and, in your case, tattooing and stuff like that. And it's always interesting to see, like, who's credited with it as opposed to, like, its origins. You have, like, these, like, very, like, Europe is credited for spreading things out to the world because they were going everywhere and seeing all these things and then taking it with them and then bringing it back to Europe and then kind of stealing it, I guess is the best way I can think to say about it. And when they would steal it, they would oftentimes just go like, yeah, it's part of our culture, that's what we do. And it's just very interesting because, like, you think of, like, tatau and stuff like that, and stick and poke, are originally just parts of people's cultures. Like, they don't have anything to do with, like, anything else. And it's all kind of, and depending on where you look at it, like, they've all got, like, the different techniques all have, like, all these different origins from them. Which I always think is really interesting. Because, hey, Brittany, they all have, like, this interesting technique to them, but they're always, like, with just different types of tattooing and different types of painting. It's kind of like the fresco stuff. Like the frescoes came about, and it was like these paintings that people put on walls, and then they permanently just stayed on them. And to this day, people haven't really been able to figure out how they managed to do it. It's like concrete, I say Roman concrete, still hard as shit. Can't change. Nothing's gonna go about it. So it's just really interesting to me how that all kind of comes about and how it works. I mean, it's fascinating how like things are credited one way and then they kind of go the other way. When in actuality, like, you know, because of the way the Greeks and the Romans traveled and went everywhere, they probably just adapted it from somebody else. It's kind of interesting. I read this article once about how like twerking was originally like part of like it's like a West African dance, but like we attribute it to like Black Americans throwing it back, you know. But it's about more so much, you know. It's deeper than that though. It's just interesting. I always love how like to peel back an onion and then go like, wow, that's really fascinating. Like these things come from all these different places and they do all these things. I gotta turn this fan on. It's getting hot in here. It's because I'm drinking coffee, bro. There we go. Get some light. Actually, I don't like the light. I really like. Yeah, it's very interesting. I always find it kind of fascinating to see like how all these things kind of correlate and then they work together and then they make just all these little interesting aspects of everything. Like there's so much about, even as an Afro-Latino, there's so much that's kind of a mixture of parts that are very African that are then thought of as parts of like forever Latin culture. And even with Latin culture, like there's so much of it that is just indigenous that was then kind of interweaved and laced. I just think it's kind of fun. I was just talking about this to my white husband. We speak about culture and racism all the time because it's healthy to today's times. Yeah, absolutely. Literally 20 minutes ago. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, me and my wife, we talk about it all the time. We just do. You know, it's part of our meals, our rituals, all these things. I think it's weird to me because I think a lot of times like people think they feel like it's divisive, but in actuality, like you're giving credit where credit's due. Like it's understanding and seeing the origins of things and stuff like that. So to me, it just makes sense. Like it always feels weird that like people are so opposed to just kind of learning history and cultural stuff. Like I've learned so much throughout the years. That can't be a good sound. I've learned so much over the years just about like Mesoamerica, looking into things, finding like techniques and stuff that people do. And sometimes it makes things more efficient. Sometimes it's got a better value, it's got a better taste, it's just culturally better. There's just so many things. The concept of just learning in general is just really beautiful. I'm so confused by so many people who don't get it. I laugh most of the time when I see the people who like look forward into things and they feel like they've like invented something like new and amazing, but it's just been something that like everybody's been doing forever. My example is like people who think they just came up with fuck around and find out. Even though I've been hearing that since like the 80s. So it's kind of interesting. When I hear people say, like, nah, that's not what happened. That's not how that works. People just kind of like, it's all just culture. And I'm like, nah, it's not just culture. There's a lot of stuff people get, like, back in the day when we watched, like, MTV for Music Awards and stuff. There's a lot of stuff people pick up that way. I still laugh when I hear kids say, woo Chile. And I'm just like, just no friends. It's like, stop using message boards to figure out your slang. It's not funny. It's not informative. I remember when I worked at this summer camp when I was like 21. We had these like weird kids who were just really obnoxious. So we made up a bunch of fake slang. So we could just laugh at them because they were just getting on our nerve. Did you see the meme where the girl said Facebook needs to come out with something where you visit someone's page and music plays? And finally, oh, like MySpace. That's amazing. I love that. Oh my god, they don't know what MySpace was. I liked MySpace. I thought MySpace was better than Facebook, to be completely honest. I thought it was more personable. I thought it was more fun amongst your friends. And you had to interact with people you didn't want to, which is kind of nice. But, yeah, it was just better, honestly. I thought it was more personable. It was silly and it was, like, childish, but that was the point. Yeah, it made me feel old as hell when I say that, but it's just interesting. It's interesting to see how, like, people are like, yeah, I'd love to have, like, Flash and stuff when I open my page and have maybe, like, I don't know, top 8. Let's just do that. And you're just like, wow, it's coming back around. That's sad. I think a lot of people only left MySpace because everybody left MySpace. In the end, it was like just empty. There was nobody there. It got kind of sad. Hi, producer Tom. He's taking a nap. He doesn't care about us right now. And yeah, it was just interesting. I'm always kind of blown away by stuff like that. I remember people fighting about who was in top 8. People got real upset about it. It's like, well, how are you going to bump me for this guy? He doesn't even know you. We went to school together. And you're just like, it's not that serious, my man. It's really not that serious. Nah, this is real. People lost friends. It's crazy. My favorite was how just like, you could just be disrespectful to people. Nonchalantly. You end up in somebody's like top 8. You get to be famous for like 5 minutes. We talk trash to everybody else. You lesser people. Look at 9 over there. He ain't got nothing. You know, type of thing. It's just silly. I loved it though. It was just the drama, the pure drama of it was amazing. I think they ruined it though when they made it so you could make like top 14, top 30, and it kind of lost its glitter a bit. I know so many people who used MySpace as their portfolio. Like MySpace was like their professional website. And the other problem MySpace really had was that you couldn't do like a store, I don't think. I think you could probably link a store, but you couldn't do an actual store. I think Facebook just got there. But I don't know if it's any good, though. It's still up, you know, right? Yeah, I know it's up, but it's just not... I know it's up, but it's just not, It's not the same though. It's like a music site now. Last time I checked, it was just kind of like a music site where you could just kind of randomly move this. Where you could just kind of randomly like listen to all the stuff. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever really be the same. It'd be nice if it was though. Like if I had the alternative, I would go back. I would absolutely go back to MySpace. I do think I would put just as little effort into it though as I do Facebook though. I feel like me and my friends from 20 years ago just wouldn't go back on it. Not the way we did. I mean, that was like the spot. Go on there, get in the message boards. Everybody talk. We joked about like making like reunions in 10 years where we all like met up in Vegas and all hung out. Totally didn't work. Most of us didn't get along enough. A couple of them got married though, which was kind of interesting. A couple of us dated. It was interesting. It was kind of funny. It was like the beginning of the pre-app dating, I guess. And yeah, it'd be like people in clubs. It was mostly, the weirdest thing I think about it was a lot of times it was people who were working in clubs, who worked crazy nights. And so like this kind of worked for them so that they could kind of check in and do stuff. And there were no rules, which was always fun. And it was just great, honestly. I remember when my friend got to the point where he was professionally making people's MySpace pages. Like he just finished being a graphic designer. And he was just making code. And it was incredible. Like he was making so much money off of it. Had like little business cards. Hey man, you want me to make your MySpace? And I remember just laughing. And he was like, nah man, don't laugh at me. This is a real business. So I was like, I'm sorry. I remember like going to art school and like they taught us how to like make all this stuff and do all those things for clients. And it was interesting because like the fundamentals of it are still just a sketchbook and a sketch pad, but you just have to be able to physically make it into the thing. And people would always ask for like these things or whatever. And you had the purists who were graphic designers who were like, this music and all this other stuff, like, it's not good because it slows the page down. And people were like, I don't care. There's not enough to see on there anyways. It doesn't matter. You just cracked me up about it, though. Because there have always been people who took it way too seriously. No matter what it was. And this is before you could really make money at it. Of course these are the vegan drumsticks. These are the bomb. I love these vegan drumsticks. From eLife, chef's kiss. Got the buffalo going on it. They had some other ones. I'm not. I have like one that's like a garlic ginger. And then there's like a maple one. Horrible. Horrible. Like a crime. Horrible. Be like Drake, I'm upset. But no, it's always interesting though. Just how all of it kind of works well. I figured, this is my version of like chicken and waffles. So instead it's like vegan drumsticks and pancakes. Get my own little food truck going. Be sweet. Minus the fact that I don't want to work. I don't ever want to work in a kitchen again. It's such a hard job. It's like 1,000,000 degrees all the time. Every surface is like super slippery. You walk on, you're covered, you're surrounded by knives. Most of the waitresses like hate you because you work in the back of the house. It's so weird. This one person was tripping me out because they were like, yeah, you know, people talk about all these jobs or whatever, but they just quit and just walk out or whatever. And I'm like, I mean, if a job sucks though, you gotta just move on. Like, Vegan Fest. Kat says, Vegan Fest was this weekend here in Lancaster. Afro Latino Fest was actually this weekend in DC. It was pretty cool, actually. I watched a bunch of video stuff because I forgot it was going on. But it was really cool. They had a bunch of live performances, a lot of food, a lot of vegan food. It's kind of funny how, like, it's become, like, this very hand-in-hand type of thing. Which is kind of interesting. Like, you would kind of expect... You'd think via stereotypes, like, it would be a lot of, like chicken, like pollo y con queso and all this other type of stuff. But, yes, cheesy chickens. Yeah, like shrimp and rice and a lot of stuff like that. But there's been, like, a huge vegan, like, thing. We didn't go. We went to the Wine and Jazz Fest on Saturday instead. I mean, I'm not hating on you, Kat. I think it's a good idea. You gotta go where your streets are, you know? You want to get a little fucked up and dance to some music. It makes perfect sense. I mean, I'm more likely to go to the Broccoli Festival than I was to go to the Afro Latino Festival, to be honest. And that's literally just a pothead festival, so. It's always very interesting, though, to see all the things that are going on. Wings. With all the festivals and stuff. So. They all just happen all at once, though. I think, like, they had, like, a Comic-Con festival. Awesome Con is what they call it in D.C. They had that going on this weekend, too. So they're all just kind of going on at the same time. So I have to wonder if they're, like, kind of canceling each other out a little bit. Though some are, like, huge festivals. And some are, like, very small music in the park type of things. Little vendors. I met this man. Oh, my God. I met this man a couple of days ago. He's a 70-year-old man from Peru. And he told me about this, with my mask, the Lanchinchu, I think as it said. But they go and they put on these like devil masks, these devil knit masks in the mountains, and then for one day the whole town just kind of fights each other just to get it all out of their system. It happens like around Christmas. It's like a fist fight, and I was like, that shit is crazy. I watched like a whole doc about it. It was the craziest thing I'd seen in a while, but it was amazing, and it made way more sense than like half of the shit we do. And it's like organized. So like break people apart if they get too crazy. If somebody like gets a little too upset, then they stop it and they have to like hug and shake hands at the end of it. It was kind of cool. I was very amazed. I wonder if I have a picture of it. I do not. I used to. I don't anymore. I think I accidentally erased it. Yeah, I think I erased it. Oh well. No pictures for you. It was just really cool though. That's how people like show their differences throughout the year. They wait till the end of the year. They all meet up. Kids, women, children, adult men. They get dressed up in their costumes. And then they just brawl. It was kind of nuts. Like I saw it and I was like, the weird thing about it was nobody really looked that beat up. They, looked like they'd been in a fight, but it wasn't the violence that everybody thought it would be. And of course, it's on Vice. So this random crazy white guy goes and he wants to participate in it as a reporter, and he just gets decked almost immediately. It was interesting though because he started talking to me because he'd seen Parents Breakfast. His grandson watches. Hello, Christopher. Thanks for your support. And he was like, I know that mask you wear in the video. The mask you wear in the video is from Peru. And I was like, yeah, my buddy went to Peru. And he's from Bolivia, and he went up to Peru to do a mural. And he met the people, and he saw it, and he was like, this is amazing. I got to bring this back for Jay. And so he did. And that's how I ended up with my mask. My mascot hat. It was just very interesting though, but mostly a lot of people mostly play music and they dance. You don't have to fight. It's not like Fight Club. If you're here, you gotta fight. It's not that, but if you want to, then it's available for you. And it was just really cool, honestly. It was really, really cool to just see kind of how it came about. And I think it's like the Nahui tribe. They don't speak Spanish. They speak their indigenous language, and it kind of makes them cut off from a lot of Peru because they don't speak Spanish. The tribe doesn't speak Spanish. I think the individuals who come and go, obviously, they're from all over Peru. But it was interesting. Honestly, it was really, really interesting. It reminded me of like Carnival with like ass whoopings, basically. Sanctioned ass whoopings. Let me rephrase that. There's so many that go on there. So I picked up this book, actually. Alec got me to pick up this book. Heartstoppers. It's really good, actually. It's like a little graphic novel. But it's really beautiful. It's about the story of like these two boys in high school who like fall in love with each other. But it was just really interesting. And it's very cute and awkward and goofy. But I like it a lot, honestly. And it's done really well. It's very like yaoi type of vibes, but I know, I just enjoyed it. She was right. She was like, I think you're gonna like this. I was like, you're not wrong. It was very good. It's very good. Let me grab my mask so you can see, because I'm sure someone's like, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about.